This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets. Oil prices dropped for a second session on Monday as weak China economic data triggered concerns about demand at the world's largest crude importer, while the head of the world's top exporter, Saudi Aramco, said it was ready to ramp up output. Brent crude futures fell 89 cents, or 0.9%, to $97.26 a barrel by 0034 GMT after settling 1.5% lower on Friday. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was at $91.27 a barrel, down 82 cents, or 0.9%, after a 2.4% drop in the previous session. China's economy unexpectedly slowed in July, while refinery output tumbled to 12.53 million barrels per day, its lowest since March 2020, government data showed.
China's daily coal output in July surged 16% from a year earlier following Beijing's call for miners to ensure sufficient supply during the peak summer demand season. The country produced 372.66 million tons of coal last month, equivalent to 12.02 million tons per day. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, showed on Monday. This compares with the 10.13 million tons per day produced in July 2021 and the 12.64 million tons in June. Over the January to July period, coal production was 12% higher than a year earlier at 2.56 billion tons.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Germany plans to give the transportation of materials and equipment essential for energy production priority on the country's rail networks should water levels on the Rhine fall further and hamper shipping by river, a draft decree shows. DB Netz, the rail network arm of railway operator Deutsche Bahn, has already rejigged usage conditions to give preference to trains carrying mineral oil products and hard coal for power generators as Germany tackles an energy crisis. The aim is to ensure the ongoing operations of power stations, refineries, electricity grids and other system-relevant infrastructure, said the draft drawn up by the Transport and Economy Ministries and seen by Reuters.
Marine fuel sales in Singapore, the largest bunkering hub in the world, rose by 10% month-on-month to a 7-month high of 4.12 million tons in July, latest data from the Maritime and Port Authority (MPA) of Singapore showed. The uptick came amid a rise in vessel arrivals for bunkering, which climbed 8% month-on-month to 3,181 vessel calls in July. Bunker fuel prices were also lower in July versus June, amid softer upstream crude prices. Sales for both low-sulfur fuel oil (LSFO) and high-sulfur fuel oil (HSFO) grades climbed from the previous month, the MPA data showed.
Next, we have the top news in metal markets.
China's primary aluminium production rose 5.6% to a record monthly high at 3.43 million tons in July from a year earlier, with smelters ramping up production as power restrictions were eased. July's output was up 1.2% from 3.39 million tons in the prior month, according to data released by the National Bureau of Statistics on Monday. The previous record was 3.42 million tons marked in May. The world's top metals producer and consumer has seen a gradual pickup in smelter activity in recent months, as well as new capacity added in some regions such as the Yunnan and Gansu provinces.
Prices of industrial metals fell on Monday after top consumer China reported several key economic data, which missed expectations by large margins, reinforcing fears of weakening demand from the world's biggest metals market. 3-month copper on the London Metal Exchange was down 0.7% at $8,033 a ton, as of 0412 GMT, while the most traded September copper contract on the Shanghai Futures Exchange dropped 1.3% to 61,890 yuan, $9,160.34, a ton. China's economy unexpectedly slowed in July, with industrial output, fixed asset investment, and retail sales all missing forecasts by large margins. China's new yuan loans also tumbled more than expected in July. We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector. Fertilizer exports from Russia fell 7% in the first half of the year. Interfax news agency cited Trade Minister Denis Manturov as saying on Monday. Russia aims to keep fertilizer exports in 2022 not lower than 2021 levels, Manturov was quoted as saying.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.